Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper. This is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. We're back after a little hiatus. I do have a copy of my runs on the previous day's Faction Wars. I'll put those up at some point on the weekend. Obviously, you won't be able to use them for yourself. This one will be touch and go as to whether you'll be able to use it also. I'm sorry, but at least that way I get to record it properly from home. And I had intended to do it on the road before I left, but my time crunch. So I did get some teams built, and then I didn't get a chance to actually run them. So why don't we start here with the Dark? I believe this is the last of the zeros, right? It will be Knights Revenant and Dark Elf. We'll start there, and then we'll get into Bannerlord. This is a triple whammy. We'll start here. It's their first one, and the first one is 20 plus poison debuffs. This is going to be, that it seems to me, just by looking at it, this one's going to be easy to achieve the filters, I think, or the conditions, but you just got to make sure you're survivable. So we have a quote-unquote free champion that I suspect most of you will have Mithrala by the time you're on hard stage. Hard mode, whatever this is. Also, you'll probably, if you want to use, you'll probably have, well, you won't probably, you'll have to have our Lydia here. So you'll have Lydia, we know that. You'll probably have Mithrala. And I was trying some different things with Vizier. If you were going to, say, bring in a poisoner like Dark Kale, who puts his poisons on champion, or is he Ultimate Kale? I don't even know. Is he supposed to be Dark Kale? Dark Kale. I don't even know. I always thought he was a bad guy. Whatever. So he's going to put poison on a single enemy. You can spread it. There are other options, of course. There's rare options, which is quote unquote rare. But it's at least nice to know there are some options available to you. Of course, Cold Hearts have an A2 poison. It is only if the target is under a heal reduction debuff, so you're going to have to do some manipulation there. But your best bet is probably the starter champion Kale. Honestly, if I had gear on him, I'd probably use him. It's a 50% chance of placing a 5%. It's 4 times at random. You do need to get 20 poison debuffs, so that's going to require you to cycle quite a bit, which is, again, where that Vizier comes in possibly handy, is running Vizier to help if you're landing those debuffs. Now, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to bring a nuke, I'm going to bring a control, I'm going to bring survivability / possible control, and then we're going to bring in Zavia as our poisoner rather than beating our head against the wall. She's got that 75% chance of placing a 5% on each hit on all enemies, so that's going to give us plenty of poisons. Also, Mithrala has poisons for you out there. You could probably do this with just Mithrala, because you should be able to cycle through with Mithrala and get everything you need to get done. Now, the trouble is, and we'll talk about it on the first wave here, because I've already done it before, which is why I moved away from the Vizier. It just takes too long. Is you have several champions that are going to cause you a bit of issue. Obviously, you've got Sky Touched, who can cleanse and put up block. You've got a cleanse on, what's her name again? I can't even remember. The red-coated Psycho Mage, or the Psycho Cleric. I believe you've even got a block on the Queen Jester, and you've got a lockout skills on here. So there's a whole lot here to be worried about. What we're going to do is we're going to use this to lock out our first one, and then we're just going to drop poisons down. We want to get poisons out there as quickly as possible. We're going to use A2 to get as many poisons out there. See, we're already at 10. That's good. Why does it say failed? 5 champions, no losses. Did someone die that I'm not a... Oh, I only put 4 champions. Like, how did I already lose? I've already failed. I forgot to put that 5th one back. I was looking at different champions to use here. I would really like some control. So maybe someone like... do we want to use... Sylar gives us control. I want to use someone that has gear. I really don't want I don't want to look at it. Where's all your gear? Where has all your gear gone? Why can't you wear some? Like all of them. Oh, Lanicus. Well, Lanicus doesn't really give us control. Tremeria does. She does good turn meter control. Maybe we'll use her. It's so crazy how little gear I seem to ever put on anyone. Collection. And why are you wearing good gear? Like, what's happening here? We just want we'll do primary stat speed, get some boots on there. Oh, perfect. There, now she's got enough. And then we want substat speed. And I don't know if I'm really that worried about it. Give her a triple speed. And then, as long as it's not in a set that I'm like gonna have to take it away from her in 2 minutes. Although I guess in 2 minutes wouldn't be a problem because we have the free gear swap. What do you got here? 60 with double speed. Perfect. Perfect. Now she's also. We got some new relics. We got some new relics. Dungeon battles? Really? That's what we're worried about? Oh my god. Additional 30 resistance against enemies attempting to play stun. That's not bad. I thought I also got a purple. Oh yeah, there it is. Pentagonal. Increases the wearer's resistance by 40. I do like this one. I don't know. Can anyone actually wear that? I would like that on either. Oh yeah, I can't look at it here. We'll get to that some other time. I'm sorry. I see I get squirreled so often. Okay, we're gonna bring in Tremeria just for some turn meter control. I think it'll be nice, and we can probably do some speed in all battles. That'll give us that way we can control them a little bit better, and we can get through where we want. So we're gonna lock out here, and then we're going to just drop some poisons here, and then we can stun them on this round. Good, we got everyone stunned. We'll put some poisons out. That's it. We're at 10 out of 20. And we can probably take them out now. All right. Our first one, pretty freaking easy. We just basically, once we got our 20, which we got in the second round, we unleashed Lydia's decreased defense, which just let us hit everyone harder. Mithrala is going to be your best in class probably throughout this entire hard level series for the Dark Elves because she's going to make you survivable. She's going to be able to spread damage evenly across with her Hex. If there's any, I'm sure there's a Hex level there somewhere. She's got poisons on her A1. She's got a lot to ask for. Also, Tremeria is going to be very good for this too. In all areas, increased speed. She's got turn meter control. She's got turn meter boost. She's got decreased speed. She's got an AoE A1 for set-based things. So overall, very strong. Obviously, Lydia as well, able to lock you out or lock out a single champion. That's a bit of a pain in the butt. I think, for example, the Cardial that can lock you out in the second round of this past one, for example. Very useful. And there's going to be useful epics too in this one. Like I said, Kale's probably your best bet. If you happen to have like a Vizier to go with him, awesome. But really, Kale with Mithrala probably could do every bit as good. I just made it a lot easier on myself by using Zavia because she's got some good damage. I happen to have a +4. You could easily do this with Kale by just giving him gear, which I didn't want to do. So, next one up, place 10 freeze debuffs. I don't think this one's possible. Oh, no, that's a lie. I do have one. And she's on my team. I forgot, says. And she's one of only two, right? Luria and Ray. So we can take out Zavia. We can put in Luria. I'll put gear on Luria. She's actually a pretty underrated champion. I think she can do some real work for you in the early mid game. And even into late game, depending on what you have. She's also decent for damage, though in this case, we'd probably be looking more for just how much, pure freeze ability we can get out of her. But why don't we put her in some of this? That'll give me resistance, speed, give me a little bit of everything. Why not? Why do I keep spending silver? I don't have any. Why do I keep doing that to myself? Anyway, whatever. It's all good. We've got 146, so we're gonna put her in fitting room equipped. I assume that's already speed. As long as she has over 200 speed, Right now, for those first 6 levels, I think 200 speed, as long as all your champions are over there, it seems to be enough. It gets a little bit close on like level 6, but we haven't gotten to a place where it's just not enough. So just take that in mind, is that you're good. I imagine after at each boss, you're gonna see a huge upgrade in the expectations the of the level, and just what your accuracy is, what your speed is, that sort of thing. So you're gonna have to either manipulate that or meet it and beat it with gear. So that's gonna be real tough. I say when Curse City resets, save all your 1 hour gear change things, because apparently Plarium doesn't care about the wishes of its people, which is to stop charging a silver to swap gear. So we're gonna have to rely on these free swaps, including those that you can get out of the tower. I think that's gonna be the only like sane way you're gonna be able to get through this. In my humble, and I'm humble, opinion. So this is not very good for accuracy. Kind of hoping for more, while still getting some actual speed. If only there was a way we could actually just look for speed and accuracy on items. Like, that would be cool. And then, make a priority level. Like, what's the most important stat? Let's sort it by that stat. That might be interesting. That might be cool. That might be a different way of doing things. Like, I actually use her for anything anymore. That's sad. Valkyrie's like one of the best champions in the game. There we go. That'll be good. Oh, and she's even got a little blessing. She's freezing people. Does anything here help with that? Maybe crushing rend. Okay. So Luria, best in class, only in class, one of only two, has a 75% chance. Also has a block revive on that, but it's a 75% chance to place an AoE freeze. You're going to need 10. I'm also bringing in Ray, who has freeze here. Also, oddly enough, only a 70%, but also does a cleanse. So, or a strip. So she strips on a 5-turn cooldown. Ray has so been outpaced, by the way. The fact that it's a 5-turn cooldown, not even 100% on an A3, and Luria's here is 75% on an A2. Obviously no strip, but the mere fact is also going to block revive, and the fact that there's so many more champions that just do better at this job. It's pretty crazy that there's only 2. Now, is there a legendary that I'm missing? Maybe, but once again, pretty crazy. Still not the worst, though. Having the 0 legendaries was worse. Or, sorry, having the 0 epics. But let's give this a go. Yeah, sure. Let's put the hex out there this time. Should we stun them? No, we're gonna boost ourselves, and then we're gonna let her go first. How many did we get out of that? We got 1. Okay, we can't do that. Then let's replay. Too much damage. Which is fine. I think our worst is him. It's one of these two. He does a lot of damage, but I'm not too worried about that. We'll put the hex out. We'll do the boost again. And we'll do this again. There we go. We got 4. Good. I don't want to use hers. Now I think we can put that up. All right. We had to do a little managing just to make sure we didn't kill him too soon. But other than that, it was pretty easy. Tremeria is so good in this with the triple AoE. The double AoE and then the self buff. She's giving you turn meter control. She's giving decreased speeds. It's very good overall, all around on these things. We did actually skip Ray because she does too much damage with her A3. So we used it on the first round, but we didn't use it on the second. It was still on cooldown. And the third round, we didn't use it at all. We waited for Luria to get Luria. We used in the second round. She got 4 as well, and then she got 2 in the final round. And it was at such a case there was two champions. Even with that cycling, there's only two champions left. And if she would have killed one before she froze it, I'm not quite sure the turn of events on her particular skill. Or if she would have not landed with those freezes, we'd have had to restart. So just keep in mind that Ray's A3 does hit very hard. So you're probably going to want to not build her for damage if you need to concentrate on Ray. Same with Luria. She does some good damage. I don't think you're quite in as much danger. But don't sleep on her damage either if you're trying to get this done in 3 stars. All right, third and final one of the Dark Elves is place 10 provoke debuffs. I couldn't even tell you who has a provoke in this group, but apparently this. Oh yeah, we got Crimson Helm. So Crimson Helm has a 4 at random with a 75 book to 85, 95% chance for a provoke. So that's going to be your epic. Caden also has the ability to provoke on his A1. Okay. 15, 20, 30% chance on a single swing. Not great. We're not going to use a doofus. We're going to call him Edifice. Sounds more fancy. He has a provoke on all enemies, a 3-turn cooldown when booked. I was silly enough to book him. I should just be saving. I should just be saving my books. I don't know why I feel the need to use them. And also Chromax has a when booked 100% chance on a 4-turn cooldown. So there are options available out there. You have Vizix, who has a provoke for 1 turn. This is attacks all enemies, avoid. So very strong overall Vizix. Isn't Vizix a freebie? Is Vizix a freebie? It's been so long. I'm sure Vizix is a freebie. I'm positive she's a freebie. I'm so positive I'm willing to bet money on it. But unfortunately, you guys can't call me on that. Yeah, see, she's right there. So I mean, it seems a no-brainer. A freebie is like an epic in that it should be very achievable. Ooh, we got a shard. So we're gonna bring in Vizix. I think that just makes the most sense. And I'm also going to do maybe put in a provoke set. Debuffs. Provoke, hide. Vizix has a single, an AoE, and a provoke. She can do sneaky damage, so watch for that. I could put her in a provoke set, or I could I've already put Tremeria in a set. I want to put her in a provoke set. I just want to take a look at what the provoke set looks like, which I should have a preset for, but I don't, so don't at me, bros. Provoke set. Currently, I think my best one would be here. That gives her more speed, actually. That's kind of funny with everything. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Actually, and then we'll preset manager, and we'll just global preset that is. We'll have to look at the rest of the gear, but at least that way I can switch it back, and we'll just make sure that the 2 pieces that are irrelevant don't go back onto Venus. All right. So we got her in a provoke set with her AoEs. We've got a provoke champion that we haven't geared yet. Was one of my favorite champions for a while. I tell you, if it wasn't for the broken piece about how, if when you take ally protection damage based on your crit damage, she'd be the perfect champion because she does sneaky good damage. And I think people underestimate how much damage she can do until they're injured, and they're like, "Why did you hit me like that? That was hurt. That hurt inside." So, let's see, equipped. Who doesn't need accuracy right now? Oh, Vizix, because we decided not to use you. So there you go. So we're gonna build her out as if she's a defensive stalwart, like such, and then we're just gonna give her a lot of speed and accuracy, as we do. Fitting room equipped. Primary stat speed. Perception. I always want to make sure it's a champion that I'm not currently using for anything other than maybe other faction wars. Like this. Perfect. That already puts her at 303. Substat, speed. Well, actually, even if we just do speed and we do one more set of this, that should be more than enough. Maybe we'll get her in crit rate gloves. I always like me some crit rate gloves. Ooh. Always like me stealing anything that Simple's wearing. Ooh, we've got enough crit rate pretty much. Let's get one more of these bad boys here. Yep. Okay, that's perfect for that. And then let's give her some damage. Let's make it not maximum, but definitely more than minimum damage. She's defensive based, remember that. So if you're looking for sets, obviously the attack chest would not be the way to go. But we might be able to find something in the old crit damage world. Then again, maybe not. Attack, 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 attack. We're not stealing yours, so never mind. Let's see if we have something in the old upgraded attack set. Or the upgraded crit damage set. Attack and HP. So the answer is no. Fine. I'm still going to do it anyway. There. Okay. It's got more than enough speed. So we got to get 10 provoke debuffs. I think this should be pretty easy. I don't think you even need a set. But if we have it, we might as well. Boom. We landed 4 already. And we can just lock her out. And then I think we don't waste her provoke. You know, I talked up her damage so much, and then that's the damage she gives. Sweet Murphy. There, now there's gonna be a reckoning. She also does turn meter manipulation too. Vizik's very, very well-rounded champion, in my opinion. Boom, dead. Move on to the next one. We'll see you at the end. I mean, overall, again, pretty easy one. What I would say is because you have Vizix and because Vizix is a free champion, I assume you didn't crunch her into, I think she actually ups maybe Mithrala? One of them anyway. One of the exclusive champions that you can't pull from shards. Because of this fact, some people have, and that's your own dang fault. But I think Vizix is a best in class for this one, stage 3, and stage 2. And I'll tell you the reason why is because you could put her in with her natural provoke, put her in a freeze set, and kind of just slowly work your way. You can build her to take a ton of damage. You have Mithrala by this point. You have Vizix. You have Lydia. Whoever the other two are, just for heals, for survivability. Eventual kill, maybe. Vizix is going to stay alive. You keep her alive, and she can just keep provoking. And maybe even put her, I guess can't put her, I keep saying maybe even put her in a provoke set, which you can't do. But put her in that 4-piece frost set plus the 2-piece specialty frost from Doom Tower. And then just provoke and then rinse, repeat till you get freeze that way on level 2. Stage 3, though, the provokes, Vizix, just the easy one. Tremeria is a bit of a cheat code because of her AoE A1 allows you to put on provokes. And she got a ton, so works as intended. Anyway. With that said, we are now done the Dark Elves, and we can move over to the Knights Revenant. Now, this one should be interesting. There's a lot of different things. Okay, well, this is even fair. 20 poison debuffs. I happen to have myself a couple TOs, so you know what we're doing. But let's take a look at what other options we have in the poison debuff world. If you have Calvalax, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, you just beat it just by playing. Also, another big one is Tomb Lord, who you can get from the token transfer, so that might be a good thought there. The only epic is Asma, and she's got it in A1, and it's only a 30% chance, so that's a little bit ugly. I believe Narma is a freebie, isn't she? If I'm incorrect, please tell me. She does place 3 poisons on a 4-turn cooldown. So if you were to bring Asthma and Narma in together and kind of cycle them, I guess that would be your best bet. We're not going to do that. We're going to just bring in these silly fools and we're going to beat it in the first round. He does need some boots, though. Primary boots. I mean, honestly, I could just do that. Whatever. He doesn't need it. Okay. So this should be the easiest and the quickest ever, I would think, right? So we missed once. We're only at 16 of 20. We missed 1, 2, 3, 4. We missed 4. Okay. So we'll just put them up here. And then we've already beaten it. So now we just have to survive, which I feel pretty confident in. Although you never know. So, see you in the next round. All right, that should have been done in like 30 seconds. But somehow Freya lived, and then she was able to cleanse, and then they got a couple turns before we killed them. But that was absolutely. This is like if you ever want to see definition of overkill, we beat the 20 turns each level. Each level we put over 20 debuffs up there, poison debuffs. So let's just move on to the next one. That's just silly. 10 stun debuffs. Now this could be a little bit different. So let's see what's going on. Debuffs, the old stun. We got Miscreated Monster, and also she's a freebie, is she not? Isn't Eric's at some point was a freebie? I feel like she is. I don't know why I think that. Stun. She's got an AoE stun here. It's a 75% chance. And then we've got our Miscreated Monster, who has a 50% chance on a 3-turn cooldown. So I really don't even need the debuffs to win this. I don't think either of these guys have gear. Let's take a... Well, okay, Miscreated Monster does have gear, so we'll use him. Can I cycle enough to get 10? I don't feel like I can. So I was playing around with Eric's for a while. And no, I wasn't. There was at no point was I ever. You know what? She's clean. She's clean and she has an AoE A1. She's best in class for this. If she indeed is a free champion, I feel like she was like one of the fragment champions, or what was Eric's? Let's take a look. I hate to just throw stuff out. Actually, I don't even care if I throw stuff out there all the time without any sign of proof or whatever. Eric's. Arix level 60 updated. Eric's haunt his way into Talair is the login reward champion you will obtain after Lady Erish. This means unless you pull the champion from an ancient shard, you'll just need to play for just over 2 years before you collect Eric. So I guess if you have decent but not supreme damage, but has a nasty A1. First of all, he doesn't haunt his way. You can clearly see by the way Eric stands that it's a she. Also has heals. Whoever writes these things for you, Hell Hades, the gender miscalls on your site. There's been a few. I'm just saying. We're not here to judge. Well, I am, but no one else is, and they think you can do better. It's not me saying it. It's them. It's not me. It's them. All right. Let's put in a stun set. Like, come on. What are we doing here? I don't know if I really need the damage because of all the other damage I've got. So let's go for speed. And not having to roll good enough. That's my biggest goal in this game, is to not have to roll any gear on these from here on in. I mean, this is the first 3, so if I have to roll gear here, it's not a big deal. Oh, look at that. Doesn't have near enough accuracy, but we don't need accuracy for the stun set itself. So I guess we can just, well, we can still use it. We can put an accuracy banner. Look at that. It's already there waiting for me. And then we can do an accuracy. There you go. Just like it was meant to be. And then we'll do an HP right there. Done. All right. Let's take them in here. This should be another pretty simple one. Anytime you can have a free login or a free anything champion doing the work, that's going to be nice. Especially when that happens. He didn't land a single one. Not a single one. Boom, we landed 3. I don't want to kill them all yet. Cooldowns, I like cooldowns. We'll get that A1 going. Not a single one landed? I mean, I can't stall forever here. I would like a refund. Did any of these ignore unkillable? No. Oh my god. There we go. Finally one landed. My god. See, can we get 2? Oh, you're over. Good job. All right. We'll see you on the other side. I'll let you know how this goes. Terrible luck here on in, so I'm sure it'll be great from here on out. Well, I gotta tell you, that was some of the worst RNG ever, but thankfully we were still able to do it. But I had to slow things down because Miscreated Monster, he landed 2 total with his AoEs. He landed 2 with his A1. So what is going on there? And then Eric's didn't land anything until the end when I no longer needed it. And then she was landing 4s and 5s. But man, that was pretty saucy for being one that should have been pretty easy. But in theory, if you have Eric's or even if you have Theodore, they both have AoE A1s. Very easy way to finish this with the stun set. Miscreated Monster is going to be your best in class, along with Eric's because she is free after a couple years. Because they're by their nature they're free and they have stuns in their kit. So next up, stage 3, 10 provoke debuffs. We're probably going to be playing the same little game here. Let's take a look. Well, we got some options here. We have Grave Dirt, who finally has an opportunity to shine. That's a 40% on a single swing. It's not terrible, not great. Bergoth, I'm pretty sure, just as a matter of principle, will not be using them, but it's 30, 40, 50, 60%. 60% chance to place provoke on an AoE. And then we have what does Deathless Provoke look like? 80%, 100% chance on a provoke for Deathless. So that's your best in class. I didn't expect that. For among epics. And then we also have Versolf the Grim, who has an A1 that provokes on a 50% chance. That's decent for a 50% chance. Also has a 20% chance of placing a provoke on the attacker when they are hit. Once per hit opportunity there. So that's pretty good. And then our best in class is likely Solus. He's got that 3 times at random. Each hit can remove all buffs. Also places a provoke for 1 turn. If a buff was removed, it cannot be resisted. So big overall deal there. Just the fact that you can't get that 3% resist on it. Though notably, it has to remove the debuff, which requires accuracy to remove the buff. But then it doesn't require accuracy to get the provoke if you remove the debuff. Can you see the issue with some of their older kits? I've long since given up getting that fixed. So he's probably the best overall. He's got provoke here. He's also got provoke here. Increase the duration of all debuffs on each target for 1 turn. Place a provoke on all enemies for 1 turn. Place a shield on this champ for 2 turns. So Solus is going to bring the debuffs by far. Going to be the best champion for here. You can also do provoke sets using the same thing as we talked about for the stun sets. But I think this is just going to be a little bit easier. I don't know if I even want to bring in Deathless because it just seems like bringing him for this. Well, whatever. It's not like it's costing us any money to put gear on them right now. Do collection. Should I just put... I don't want to put good gear on her because then... I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Forgive me. I still have to put stuff on Solus anyway. Filter. So he's defense based. Priority stat. Oh, no. Primary stats. Defense percent and crit damage. We do want him in some speed. We need him with way more accuracy. So let's just find an accuracy banner there. Primary accuracy equipped. Sure, that looks exactly what the one I want. That looks like what I want. What I really, really want is a crit damage glove. Are those 2 pieces? Oh, they are. Very nice. Ooh, I like that one too. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, defense percentage. Can I get one from that same set? Can I get... No? Okay. Do I have one from that same set? Because I grabbed this. I grabbed Fatal. Could I have another Fatal? No? Okay. Yeah, just checking. Asking for a friend. Substats, we want speed. Crit rate. Sure. It's almost good. All right. Who else are we going to put in this fight? We don't want to put in Deathless because I'm cheap. Just some survivability. Yeah, let's bring her in. Why not? Get some fear procs into the mix. Okay, so I think the biggest thing here is to just not let him kill people. Okay, he should be able to provoke them all. And I think he did there. 5 so far. That's very nice. I actually did not do a whole lot of damage. Oh. I think he kills people with that. I think he kills them. That's fine. I want to give us some cycle time. That was intentional. Except for now they're reviving people. Now it's a problem. Fine. Oh, actually he didn't. I thought he would do more damage than that. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's move on. Where are we at? We're at 7. I'll see you when we're done. Well, I tell you, I nearly messed it up just because of cooldowns, but we were able to get it at the end. We went 2 for 3 on the final one. He killed one of the 3. He needed 2 to get it, so thank God we got it. Stage 3. These are all fairly easy with the legendaries, but there are epic opportunities. So far, it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything really tripping us up on the Knights Rev or the Dark Elves, especially with some really good free to play options to use sets to your advantage. But Bannerlords, we're now on the 4, 5, 6, where things tend to get a little bit tricky. So we got to manipulate buffs or debuffs. This is going to be interesting. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Manipulate, decrease debuff duration. We have, I think that's Valerie, right? Increase buff duration. We have Valerie. Wow. Decrease buff duration. We have Sigmund. And increase debuff duration. This could either be horrific or wonderful, depending on exactly what Valerie can do for us, because we got to do this 20 times. Place your shield and all allies for 2 turns. Valerie shield depends. Heals each ally according to the number of buffs they're currently under. No. Increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn, which I knew. Decrease the duration of all debuffs on all allies by 1 turn. Places a 25% increased attack on all allies for 2 turns. So as long as we have buffs on our champions, I'm sure it's the action that counts, so we might have to cycle a bit because I don't know if I'm going to be guaranteed having debuffs on my champions. If I do have debuffs, it's even better. So this is a very high value. Oops, I didn't need her to the collection. This is a very high value opportunity if you have a Valerie. And if you don't, she might be the easiest to get because you can farm her. So this is probably the easiest one, though still noting that you still have to manipulate a bit because you may not always have debuffs on you. She does thankfully have that A2 on a 3-turn cooldown, which increases duration. So I think you should be able to cycle through that fairly reasonably. Is there any chance I can just steal a preset and go with it? Yes, we can put her in a provoke set. Doesn't matter. Don't overthink it. She can be in a provoke set. Maybe we'll need it later. I don't even know. Let's see. I don't think she needs accuracy either, right? Because she's manipulating buffs and debuffs on us. Attacks one enemy who cares. Yeah. Perfect. Now, I did see in one of my previous videos, someone said that the chance to extend duration is a manipulation and should work, and the chance to decrease extend debuff. There's another one. Oh, it's buffs here. Extend the duration of any buff cast. So these 2 are available to you. Should you need them, they're going to add that extra value. So keep that in mind. If you bring in a champion that's got tons of buffs, I might bring in Archmage. Doesn't he have a ton of buffs? Yes. Is this on altars? Yes, we're bringing him in. Do you have gear? Yes, Archmage. So we're gonna bring in Archmagus himself. Just because then we have a ton of buffs. We're not gonna worry about it. We can not put him in the lead. Oh, she's got faction crypts by 22 now. We'll take the defense. But overall, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good here. I forgot to put her. What do we got? Sure. What do we got? Sure. I want a banner that's HP preferably. Yeah, good. 179. She's too fast, but that's okay. We put her in some pretty silly gear for her. Okay. So we don't want to use this yet because there's nothing on us, but we can place a shield on ourselves for 2 turns. It's not a big shield, doesn't need to be. We got debuffs on them. We could also remove all buffs, but that gives me a turn meter boost, which is what I'm really for here. And then we can stun them or kill them. It really doesn't matter. They don't need to be alive. Boom. We got 8. So we must have gotten the other things as well, the random chances, because hers was 5, but I see, I don't know, somewhere we must have gotten some extras there, probably on Archmage. So I don't see them, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. Oh, I did that the wrong way. See, that's she's gonna actually if she revives everyone, that's not gonna be the worst scenario. That's totally not the worst scenario. It just gives us a chance to cycle through a little bit quicker. All right, I'll see you on the end. This should be a fairly easy run. As expected, this was pretty simple. I had to make sure to cycle properly. Took a little extra time, but Valerie, they also got debuffs on me once, and Valerie was able to decrease them, increase buffs. Very strong. Archmage Valerie is the key to this, which is great because it's literally a rare and an epic in a group where there's not a whole lot of other options. It's good to know that the best in class option is in fact a rare by far. At least of the champions I have, there could be a Bannerlord out there that does it that I don't have. I don't know. Are Taurus and Marichka in this group? I don't. One of them do. Who knows? I don't have that luxury, but what I do know is she kicked butt. So the next one is under Leech. This one I'm not as big of a fan of, but we do have Leech debuffs out there. We have lots. What does Manaya Inc. put out for Leech on an AoE? One enemy. So we have a single target Leech. Lady Annabelle has an AoE Leech 100% on a 3-turn cooldown. That's automatically best in class. I might keep Archmage in there, actually. Or actually, I might even keep Valerie in there. I don't know. Knight Errant has a great hit on here, but his Leech is a 50% chance on an A1, which is pretty nice, and ignores defense. He's going to give you good single target damage if you need it. Seneschal has a Provoke, which you may need at some point. We talked about that in the one of the previous ones. And he has a 40% leech on an A1. So if you, I guess if you're having, there's no strict counterattack here, but I don't know if you need it, it's there. So 40 hits on enemies where they're under leech. We've got only one leech champion. Let's bring in Seneschal. I think he's already got gear on him. Unless I stole some of it back. 248. Looks like he still has gear on him. So we can keep this. I got a gear Lady Annabelle. I haven't been using her in some time. This is good because now I can put blessings on all these champions that I previously hadn't. She's doing AoE, so we can put her in cruelty, I guess. I feel like there's not a good epic support ability unless you've got heals and you're trying to remove that max HP piece, or you've got continuous heals. That was a nice addition, but I just feel like there's a real missing link there, in my opinion. Anyway, let's see. Let me know in the comments down below what would you use for Annabelle? What sort of blessing would you use for Annabelle, knowing that she can only use epic or less? And in my opinion, it doesn't have a whole lot out there. All right, filter, fitting room. We're just going to go to preset manager. I swear to God, I'm just going to do this. We're just going to give her the... Why not? Why wouldn't we? Just pass it along. Who cares? All right. And immediately we're going to want to have this leech out. So boom, we got the 5 leeches. And then we got 3 hits on those leeches. But we're going to be able to do this. Oh, he's doing all the heals and stuff. Everyone has a leech, so there's no point in that. Might as well try to taunt anyone who hasn't been. We'll decrease that, and then we'll boom, boom. That's 2, so we're already up to 21. This should be pretty easy, other than maybe cycling. Lenatharol. He's in my clan boss team. Yep. This is actually really good for cycling or swimming. Just kidding. That's a little humor. Ow, dude, settle down. All right, we'll see you in the end. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty easy time of it once again. Man, I love well-rounded champions, and I gotta tell you, or factions, and Bannerlord seems to. I don't know if I bitched about him in the last one. Certainly won't in this one. Annabelle was putting them out. I had damage, I had heals, I had debuffs, I had control. Everything you could want out of this stage so far. 2 for 2. Manipulate turn meters. This one should be fairly easy for me. Let's see whether it's not. It's going to be easy for you. Can you do a fill turn meter? You've got a whole host of champions. Obviously, Sathalia for me is going to be there. Manaya Inc. can also do it. But let's, it wasn't on that skill. Let's talk. Kaya the Rye has a fills turn meter of all allies. Honor a 3 on a 3 turn cooldown when fully booked. Of the epics, we have Aelfrig, fills the turn meters of all allies. We've got Lady Keelan, one of the most underrated potentially. Fills a turn meter of all allies if this attack kills an enemy. We have Azure, who actually, I think it's a single one. You think I can find it? Where am I reading? Steals targets. Oh, steals a target's turn meter. We've got, of course, Archmage Helmet, who's got the A2. Sorry, that has a increases turn meters of each enemy without a stun. Does a decrease plus increases the turn meter of himself. So just a ton of turn meter manipulation on this one. We've got a lot to choose from. We'll take a look at the other side of it. The decreased turn meter. This is probably the easiest one in the group by far. Like you've got Ursula, one of my favorite champions. Though she's been sorely outpaced. Revives and fills turn meter with anyone who's been revived. Decreases the target's turn meter on her A1 as well. We've just got There's a ton. Lordly Legionary can. Oathbound can do it. Even was he Fearmonger? Mass Fearmonger, probably the least scary champion in the game. So you've got a lot of options and a lot of opportunity here. We're just gonna go with Archmage, and we're just gonna make this an easy hit. We need it 40 times. We might want to bring in a second one, and I think I stole gear from Manaya in this very video. And it should be. By the way, you may be asking yourself, where could I possibly be using her? I was using her in Animus, in Curse City. I don't now. I have a better version that I built of a better overall team. So I don't use it anymore, but I did for a while, just in case you were wondering why the heck I even had her built. Okay, let's go in here. Let's see where these turn meter manips are going to be coming from. Keep in mind, first time hitting with an A1 is also going to do that. I thought she had. Oh, it's here. Fills the turn meter of all odds by 20% when this champion is killed. I should have known that. I should have remembered that. I should have remembered the rocks. We don't want her to die. That's why she's so stupid. Why would we want someone to die? Like, why is that a good idea? We have two. I guess we have a positive and a negative swing. Let's just bring in someone that can. Let's bring in the Banner Liege. Well, that's what we should do. Maybe he manipulates people's hearts and minds. All right. Because we can do this, which decreases turn meter and increases turn meter. So we're already at 10. Now we can put this on, but why don't we instead do that, which then stuns 4 of them and did not do anything to turn meter. I feel like that's wrong, but what do I know? What is this going to be happening? Buff placed by the skill. Good, we'll just do that. And then we'll do some more damaging, kill some people. Somehow she's not contained. We'll do some more turn meter. Look at us, we're at 15 already. I thought that A2 did turn meter, but I guess I was wrong. Interesting. Heals all allies, total shield, and then removes shields from all allies and attacks all enemies. I guess. We'll do some. I'm gonna do some cycling here just to make sure we get back at it. This is looking pretty easy. I think we're at 18 already on the first round. Not too worried about Oella. So why don't we kill her? Why don't we kill her? How about we? Thank you, and we'll see you at the end of the round. All right, another one. You just got to cycle through. Make sure you get your cycles in, and should be fairly simple to do. Sathalia and herself, she's turn meter boosting twice. She's turn meter reducing once. She's going to be really good. Stag Archmage, I thought he had it, but only if you don't land the stun. But A1s even helped there, so it wasn't really a big deal. I just had to cycle through to make sure that Sathalia was getting a couple runs of all her turns. She's got a potential of 15 each round, so 45 is more than enough. That said, you probably want to cycle through wherever you feel the most comfortable in being able to control the enemy. The good news is Staltis with stuns, Archmage with stuns, we're able to keep them in place while Sathalia was cycling through. She's got decent cooldown, so make her fast enough and it should work just fine for you. So that is it. That is another group done. And let's collect our 2 Mortal Soul Stones. Oh, you guys are so good to us. 15 rank charms. That's the first time that might actually be good. But we are slowly moving ever forward. In 3 hours, although I'll be out at a gala event doing for work and supporting a friend at the same time. Looks like the next ones up are going to be Shadowkin. So that's going to be the first boss. That's going to be an interesting one. Our first look at a boss with the Shadowkin with the Demon Spawn as well. I'm scared of the Demon Spawn one. So looks like we're getting 2 tomorrow or 2 tonight, which I'll do in the morning. Our first 2 looks at bosses. So that'll be something exciting. Thank you for watching. That's it for this one. I hope you had fun. I don't know. Do you have fun at these things? Who knows? Please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.